Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the briefing for another windy Wednesday, the 27th of March. Okay, well, the synoptic's a bit of a mess today. Midnight, you can see out to the west, it's low pressure, frontal systems really everywhere. One of these occlusions coming round overnight and is almost here at the moment. And you can see at midday, they're painting it to be to the east of Lasham, so it is going through very shortly. After that, we've got relatively close isobars here, so a fairly stiff southwesterly breeze, and they've painted on here this quite big trough line. So that's implying that once this has gone through, the air will be left with will be very unstable and potentially quite showery. Continuing on tomorrow, also a fairly bleak picture with occlusion sat directly over the top of us, and those isobars sat really close together, and the wind's probably outside of limits all day tomorrow. Friday, similar picture. Once again, trough line sat just over the top of us and other frontal systems around. Wind not looking quite as strong, so they may be lucky and get something out of Friday. So about midday today, the winds will have eased a little bit from this morning. It's showing about 25 knots at height from about 200 to 210 degrees, so south-southwest direction. SatPic, you can quite clearly see at the moment that occlusion just down to our southwest, and you can see the air behind it looks quite unstable with what looks like showers behind. Yeah, rainfall radar, you can see quite close to us now, this front, and when it does get here, it's going to be fairly heavy rain by the looks of it. Following that is a fairly showery, unstable air mass. And once this has gone through, we'll just have to see exactly where these showers are, if they're lining up on top of us or if we're in a clear area. And that really will decide whether or not we get anything out today. Bit hard to predict that until it happens. Rainfall forecast then, 10 a.m. It's showing the front probably almost here, if not by 10:30. Going through should be clear by about 12 to 1 o'clock. And then after that, it is just scattered showers, and it's anyone's guess exactly where they're going to end up. It's not actually looking too bad on here. It's looking worse out to the west, sort of over Wales, just south of Wales. In our area, they look like they're fairly small, fairly sporadic showers. But we'll see what happens as this front goes through and see what it looks like we're going to be left with. Public forecast then showing heavy showers from 10 till 12 this morning. Otherwise, very strong winds, and certainly as some of those showers come through, I would expect some gusts, possibly in excess of 30 knots. Could well be very strong. Once that has passed through, the wind veers a little bit round to the south-southwest, and the wind lightens a little bit with gusts at around 20 knots. So still fairly brisk, but certainly a lot less than we've got this morning. You see it's picking up a shower at 3 p.m. there. As I say, it's anyone's guess what's going to happen after 1 p.m. Temperature dew point split, it should be reasonable today. Here we've got midday. Really, it looks like we'll probably have 7 to 8 degrees after the front has gone through. With dew points around 3, so cloud base isn't going to be a problem. And this hasn't updated in a while, but you can see it's quite nice out there at the moment. Temperature probably about 7 degrees, dew points of 5. Odium's forecast then, scattered at 25,000 feet, few clouds at 1,700. This morning they're showing 18 knots, gust up to 30. They should have the rain on here somewhere. They've put that until 2 p.m. They put light rain. Light rain showers. And then becoming from 12 onwards, 13 knots from the southwest, few clouds at 2,500 feet. And they haven't put here any rain. They have put here later in the afternoon, gusts up to 26 knots with some scattered clouds around 2,000. Farnborough then, similar picture by the looks of it. This morning, heavy rain showers. They're also showing until 2 p.m. Becoming a bit nicer from about midday to 3 p.m. with a prop 30 they've put here of some rain showers this afternoon. Okay, top meteo, this is 10 a.m. You can sort of see that front arriving. Fast forwarding a couple of hours. Interesting, it looks like it's going to be followed by a band of potentially slightly lower cloud and showers. You see they're putting on here a lot of shower activity, pretty much covering us for the afternoon by the looks of it, with the potential for some thunderstorms and Q-nims. It looks like further to the west. I don't think we're going to see that here, looking at the other forecasts, but Top Meteo seems to be of the opinion that we could well be. This is 3 p.m. It does look like the later we get in the day, the better it is. This is now 5 p.m. and it looks pretty clear in the Lasham area. So I'm hoping we'll get at least something, if not later this afternoon. Thermal wise, there could well be something this afternoon. Thermal's to about 3,000 feet by the looks of it, and the later we get, the better it gets, and cutting off by about 5 p.m. But if there are thermals, there should be cumulus by the looks of it. And they won't be very strong, 1 to 2 knots by the looks of it. I would expect they could be gusting stronger than that, up to about 3,000 feet this afternoon. That's from about 1 till 4. So optimistically, a potential soaring window this afternoon. Okay, no, there's no NOTAMs in the local area. There is some temporary airspace up here to the northwest, but I don't think anyone's going to be venturing over there. Okay, setup wise, when we go flying, it'll be 2-3, launch point in the normal position. Winch will probably be slightly offset here, provided the grass isn't too wet and the retrieve can actually drive down. If not, it will just be in line with the runway as normal. We'll have to see how wet the ground is when we get out there. But certainly right-hand circuits will be on 2-3 as normal. And provisionally left-hand circuits onto 2-3, but we may think about doing those onto 2-7. But for now, everything in the direction of 2-3. We've got 4K21, 774, 5, 6, and 8. 2K13s, S and Hotel. 2 baby grobs now, we've got SH7 back, so SH6 and 7, and 2 discs, that's 3 and 4. Please take this morning as an opportunity to read the ground handling guidance if you haven't already. And the other thing I'm just trialing is putting the ground radios in the buggies. They're just staying in the glove box for now until we get some permanent mounts for them. Please only use them when they're essential. Remember, we'll be winch launching on that frequency, so don't want to crowd it. And listen for the glider you're towing or the number of the buggy. We may need to speak to you, and that's how we'll do it. Okay, a couple of movements. 737 arrival at 10:30. It's coming in from Copenhagen. And a 737 arrival at 12:20. I'm not sure where that one's coming from. Shouldn't affect us too much unless the second one gets pushed back, which it may impede on our flyable time a little bit. Strong wind all day, so keep your approaches nice and high, lots of speed, lots of air brakes, please. Please don't use the wheel brakes on the grass. It will probably be quite soggy this afternoon. And in the meantime, the simulator is serviceable as ever, so we can use that this morning if we want to. Okay, we'll get what we can out today. We'll have a look about midday, see what we're going to get out of it. See you out there. Bye for now.